Hi there, and welcome to the Cotswold Explorer. I'm Robin Shuckburgh, and we are exploring the beautiful region of the Cotswolds in southwest England, following in the trail of Herbert Evans, who cycled around this region and wrote about his experiences in this wonderful book, The Highways and Byways in Oxford and the Cotswolds, published in 1905, 114 years ago. We've come pretty much due south from Cirencester, the great Roman centre in Cirencester, to a town called Malmesbury. This extraordinary place has had a settlement since time immemorial. There was an Iron Age settlement here, and then of course there was this amazing abbey behind me, this remarkable building. It was built originally in the 12th century. It was extremely large, built on a cruciform style. And there's not a great deal of it left, but what there is still absolutely spectacular. Christianity probably first reached the town of Malmesbury in about 600 AD. An Irish monk called Maildulf set up a school here, but it was the first king of all England, Athelstan, born in 895 AD, who put the town firmly on the map. Before him, the first abbot of Malmesbury Abbey was Aldhelm. He had connections with the royal family of Wessex and a good relationship with the Pope, so his power was substantial. His diocese was extensive and his expertise extremely varied. The early abbey, housed the first church organ in England, built at least under his supervision and possibly largely by him. He was canonized in 1080. But even before that, his burial site in the abbey grounds was an important pilgrimage destination, adding to the success of the town. The rise of Athelstan, King of all England, was just the first of royal connections to the area, which continue to this day. Very close to here, both the elder children of our Queen Elizabeth have their country homes. Highgrove, famously the favourite home of Prince Charles, and Gatcombe Park, the estate bought for Anne, the Princess Royal, when she first married, and for where she famously runs world-class equestrian events. We have a small connection with Gatcombe. One of Widget's long line of canine predecessors, a wonderful black and white Springer Spaniel, was born there. The farm manager and his wife bred him, and we bought him in the 1980s. I asked the farmer to keep him for a month or two to carry out his basic training, something he was expert at and I wasn't. After some thought, we decided to call him Chateau Petrus. He was known as Chateau for short. After a couple of weeks, I got a phone call from Gatcombe, and the farmer said to me, "Robin, when I train a dog, I always use the first syllable of their name so that they recognise it and react to it quickly. Have you any idea what the reaction of Her Royal Highness has been to my running around her estate shouting the first syllable of your dog's name?" Fortunately, and not in the least surprisingly, her reaction was actually one entirely of amusement, and Chateau kept his name. His siblings and he became well-known figures around Gatcombe, after which he came to us, wonderfully trained, living happily with us for a very long time. I always had the slight impression, however, that he felt he'd rather come down in the world. Returning to the 6th century, Athelstan had a very warm place in his heart for Malmesbury. He was a highly effective ruler, introducing the regional divisions that became shires, allowing local control over law-keeping by the introduction of shire reeves, later sheriffs, to oversee the county. He also started what was known as the Commoners of King's Heath, which gave to the people of the town land from the King's Heath for grazing. This tradition continues to this day. The wonderful water meadow at the foot of the hill on which the abbey stands, called King's Heath, is part of this gift, and from here you get an incredibly strong idea of how medieval Malmesbury must have felt. The wonderful abbey, the remnants of which we see today, and in whose cafe great coffee is to be had while you tour this incredible building, was built in the 12th century, cruciform in shape, with a spire that was higher than at Salisbury, which these days is the highest spire in England. Needless to say, the town was embroiled in the civil war of the 17th century, ending with a vicious battle on the 24th of May 1644, when parliamentarians under Colonel Massey attacked the town with artillery and a large body of troops. The fact that the town remained intact at all is down to the fact that Massey would not let his troops plunder the place. The usual Cotswold commercial pattern applied to Malmesbury: success with wool, followed by a decline and the emergence of the silk industry, and in this case a specialising in the making of lace. This latter was helped by the arrival of many Dutch immigrants, with the special lace-making skills for which they were famed. We've skated over the wonders of this lovely town. We never profess to be a comprehensive chronicler of the Cotswolds, hoping that we will inspire you to come and find out for yourselves how wonderful the region is. If you do manage to do so, don't miss Malmesbury. Come here and see the many things we haven't told you about, including the Old Bell Hotel, reputed to be the oldest purpose-built hotel in England. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, visit our website at cotswoldexplorer.co.uk, and follow us on the normal platforms, and we hope to see you there. Goodbye.